Anna, I'm gonna enable you to take and make a local recording. Let's see, allow to record to local files. And okay, and in accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised, this meeting is being audio video recorded. The agenda lists all the topics which may be discussed at the meeting and are those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by open meeting law. Please address all comments to the chair. This meeting of the Conservation Commission is being held by Zoom at the link provided on this notice. It's not being broadcast anywhere, so I'm not going to read the Zoom information because if you have it, you're already here. And if you're not here, reading it won't do any good. I'm Bob Pease. I'm the chair. We're going to do a roll call to make sure all of the members can be present and can be heard, and he can hear us. Rich Birch.
I can be present. Can I be heard?
Absolutely. Jeff Viviano.
Present.
Katie Childs.
Present.
Mike LaRouche.
Present.
Mary Wilson.
Present.
Rich Tremblay.
Present.
All right, everybody's here. Do we have any announcements for members of the commission? I'd like
Chair?
to go. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to see if we could have Ginny Albertson speak on behalf of the pollinator habitat as it applies to Earth Day. She sort of had a time-sensitive issue to bring up, and I'm wondering if the commission would allow her to speak for a few minutes in order for that to happen.
Take it away, Ginny.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll be as quick as I can. Earth Day, I think it's great that the town is all getting together to do something to clean up the town, help the planet, etc. At the pollinator habitat, we're gonna have volunteers there on Saturday and Sunday, April 22nd and 23rd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we're going to, number one, do a trash pickup. Number two, we're going to clear out the weeds out of the culvert to allow the water to flow through. Number three, we have winter sown a lot of seeds to start a lot of new plants in the habitat. And when we transplant the seedlings into the field, the rabbits eat them. So we're asking for some chicken wire. So when we transplant these seedlings, they have a chance at life. Basically what we're looking for is 2 foot by 50 foot rolls of 1 inch 20 GA poultry netting, which is chicken wire. They're $28.63 a roll, which is $57.26 for 2 rolls. I thought $60, including tax, wouldn't cover that. And we found that if we secure the cages with stakes rather than staples, it's less expensive. So if we get 53-foot bamboo stakes, they're $21.04 per pack of 25. So that would be 4208 for the stakes, or $45 with tax. And another activity we're gonna do is have children and adults plant zinnia seeds and Mexican sunflower seeds for the pollinators who use those in late summer and fall. So if we plant the seeds, we're gonna reuse the pots that Lakeview gave us last year. So all we need is some seed starting soil. I figured 16 quarts is $40. So we're asking permission from the Conservation Commission for approval of no more than $150 for these expenditures for Earth Day.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Second, made motion by Mary, second by Mike. Roll call vote to approve the expenditure of $150 from the Hawes Gift Fund for the pollinator habitat. Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Katie,
Aye.
Mike,
aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Richard,
Aye.
and I for myself. Thank you, Jenny, for being brief.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Next, I'm gonna call on Amanda Boyle. Can you give your name and address, please, for the record?
Amanda Boyle, Amanda Latour, 950 Chase Road, Lunenburg.
And so, what's your public comment or question?
We received a notice recently that we have a shed on our property that's encroaching on conservation land. However, we're here today because when we bought our house, we were informed that the shed is not on our property. We don't utilize it, and we're being told we need to take it down ourselves. So we are here to basically speak on our behalf about that.
So you don't use that shed?
No, we don't use that shed, nor did we build it. It predates us by about 10 to 15 years.
We found pictures back from 2001 with the shed there. We just bought this house in 2018.
Would you grant the Conservation Commission permission to cross your property to remove it?
Sure, yes.
Absolutely.
All right, well, I'm gonna take that up with the town attorney. And unless any comments or questions from members of the commission. All right, thank you for bringing it. Was not aware that, you weren't using it. Do you know how big it is?
No, not roughly off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 by 40, 30 by 50. It's a good
It's a
size
good
shed.
size.
It's,
Oh, it is.
yes, it's something we'd love to have it, but it's not ours. It's not on our property, and it's old anyways. It's very old, and there's nothing to it. We don't know when it was put up or what they used it for, but it's not really utilizable anymore.
All right. I will, I'll take that up with the town attorney and we'll get back to you.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Should we expect something in the mail, a phone call? Do you need any more information?
I'm not quite sure, probably.
Anna has my
It'll,
information.
would you mind, my email address is on the website.
Okay,
BPs at Lunenburg, mass.gov. If you wouldn't, send me an email with your email address so we could do it
Okay.
by email.
okay, absolutely. I
right.
spoke to Anna too, at the town, and she has my information as well.
Okay, good.
So I, just in case you needed to run anything by her and get my information from her, but I will get your email from the website BP's, and we'll send you an email with our information.
All right, thank you. I'm not sure what the answer is.
Mhm.
But let me discuss it with the town attorney and then we'll get back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Any other public comment tonight? If there is no other public comment, next thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, March 15th. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Mary, second by Jeff, I think. Roll call, Rich,
Abstain.
Jeff,
Aye.
Katie?
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Richard?
Aye.
I for myself. Thank you. On to our first public and only public hearing. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40 is amended in the Town of Lunenburg Wetland Protection and Municipal Bylaws. A public hearing on a request for an amended order of conditions by Brian and Cynthia Ritchie for proposed changes to previously approved dock at 137 Flynn Road. And it's got a DEP number of 2081242. Anna, were there any DEP comments? I bet not.
There was not.
I thought so. And so I see the Ritchies here. Are you represented by somebody? You're gonna talk for yourselves?
We can talk for ourselves, but we also want to acknowledge, we have Ed Coffin, the builder that we would like to work with, who drew up our plans, also on the call. So I thank Ed for being here, and he's welcome to chime in.
So do you have plans? Well,
Oh, yeah.
would you like would you like to share them to your share the screen, or would you like Anna Petrie to do it for us?
They're all in your system, so if Anna is controlling the Zoom, that would be helpful, but they were
Well,
also.
let me first set the security settings so she can share the screen. I just set it up so she can share the screen. So Anna, if you could share the Ritchie's plans that they submitted.
Sure. While she's doing that, I'd like to just correct a spelling in your posting on your agenda. We are not looking to just dock. We are looking to build within an already approved framework. That was supposed to say deck.
Oh, deck, approved.
Yeah, deck, not dock. So this structure is not over the water or near the water. Well, over the water.
Trying to figure out how to rotate it, but.
So if I may continue explaining, so this is part of an open project that your commission approved last year. Phase 1 was to do an erosion control wall along the water line to protect the erosion and the future trees from falling down, because we were getting hit hard from the waves of the boats going by the way our property lands. And part 2 of this project was to rebuild a rotted deck that had an existing foundation structure under it.
You had an existing concrete foundation that's still there.
That's still there, that we will repurpose for this project. The commission approved a very large deck between our 2 docks, which you see on the plot plan, not on this. We don't need all of that decking space. We want to shrink it within the footprint that you already approved, and instead screen in a smaller structure within the footprint that you approved. The structure is raised again. The concrete, original concrete barrier, the bottom is still there.
Yeah, there you go.
And so do you have a plot plan that shows the difference between what was approved?
Yes.
And
There it is.
all right, perfect.
Yeah, so actually, Anna, there's another one too that draws it, but basically what we have, I don't know if you can see ours, but this is what is in your system. So Anna, it's the other one. Nope.
Should be one more plot.
There's
plan.
one more plot.
I see.
It's the rectangular one.
Mm,
Maybe that's a dock plan.
it's
Maybe
out.
if you scroll down, I was just looking in the drive
Oh,
and I think
site
it was,
plan.
yeah, bottom one.
Yeah,
So it's
There it is.
picture of
There it is.
yeah. So this is what the commission approved. You can see the wall all along, like
So
that's. all
basically, it was a
completed.
deck from the outside of dock to outside of dock, which was approved, and we were gonna bring this to inside of dock, but make it a screen porch as opposed to a deck.
So that's what the commission approved, and what are you? And
Instead of being this long rectangle, we want a much smaller rectangle. So that it is in between the U, like where the U hits smaller, but we want to screen it in instead of having. it
Instead of a
open.
deck, we wanted to make a screen porch.
A screened in porch.
And Anna, can you switch back to the screened-in porch view? Yeah, that one. Can we blow it up? No, not the aerial. I'm trying to get a.
Oh, the
view.
aerial, yeah.
We don't have any neighbors or anyone who would be affected from view or anything like that.
So there's an existing deck there now.
We demoed the deck, but there was an existing deck there.
Yep,
We have to
all right.
replace
In
it.
that picture, you saw there was a couple timbers still left of it.
All right, any questions or comments from commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Sure.
This is Mary. The previous deck that was there, it was elevated on and on top of that concrete structure. Is that right?
Yes,
And then the replacement deck that was approved in the previous plan was going to be also on top of that concrete structure?
yes.
Yes, same, yes.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No further questions.
Rich Tremblay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The question I have is what size are we trying to build now on top of that concrete structure?
It would be 18 feet long, which would be between the docks that are projecting out. And then it would be 13 foot deep.
And how does that compare to what originally was going to be put there?
Originally, it was going to be 30 feet. The deck would have been 30 feet long, outside of dock to outside of dock. And I think it would have been about 12 foot wide.
So we're almost cutting it in half.
All right, thank you for that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions or comments from commissioners? Richard Bursch.
Yeah, I had a couple quick questions. One, can we get submission on the exact size that the new screen porch is going to be, where this was a notice of intent? We should have it documented prior to approval.
Yeah, we have a.
It is in the
right-
plan,
yeah, right
right
there.
there.
There's the
All the
picture.
sizes and things are there.
Okay, and then added to the plan that we've got. Would be
It should
my,
all be uploaded in the system.
okay. I just don't, unfortunately, I don't have it here, so if we do have it, I'm sorry. Second question is, we're swapping a semi-pervious surface for an impervious surface. So the deck that was there prior did not have a roof on it. It was just a wooden slatted deck.
Correct, with rail system.
Yes.
Yep,
So it's
so we're swapping out pervious for impervious. How is the roof gonna be situated for runoff? Do we have runoff collection going into a storm drain or a dry well?
Yes, two things, and these are all in our application. We're gonna do a metal roof. to make sure there's no substance that could run off into the water that shouldn't be there from the asphalt. So it will be a metal roof. And then in our application, we offered a draining system as well with gutters where we could drain the water down if needed after the metal roof. So we're open to that.
Yeah, we could do a dry well at the bottom of the gutters.
Okay. And is that on the drive, Anna? I just don't happen to see.
It's in the application, yes.
Yeah, just the description with what they submitted, that, like, the project description, that's what it's listed as. That they're open to doing a gutter system along with these sketches.
Okay, so it's just the narrative. There's no sketches or anything.
No.
Describing
on the
this
actual
where it's
gutter
gonna
system?
be.
No, yeah, no.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or
Um,
questions? Mary,
Mr.
welcome.
Chairman, I'm back. So based on Rich Birch's questions, if the commission decided that a gutter system and drainage, dry well drainage basin was required, it seems like we would want to have some type of pre-agreed upon volume or storage area. Is that fair to say?
We often get that. We often get that when, if people are gonna put in a dry well, we know where it's gonna be and, that it's, can, handle the discharge.
Okay. Then I actually would be looking for those kind of specifics to be added to the application. I'm not quite certain how to do those calculations myself.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Any other questions or comments from commissioners? I'm gonna do a straw poll of the membership to see are people prepared to vote on this tonight with a contingency that they submit a dry well plan before they in an aerial view showing the exact dimensions of the of this screen porch, or would they prefer to wait to the next to continue? I see that as the two options. We could pass it tonight, contingent upon the submission of an aerial view and a plan showing the location of the dry well, or we could continue it to our next meeting, and ask the Richies to come back at the next meeting, and submit a aerial plan, an aerial view that shows the dimensions of the screen porch, and the location and arrangement of the dry well. I'm gonna first call on Rich.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not prepared to vote on this tonight, given it's a notice of intent. We're adding impervious surface and all of the work's going to be within the 30-foot. The dry well may be outside of that. I do think it should be documented properly so we know exactly what we're voting on.
Thank you, Rich. Jeff?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Rich. I think we need to see it on paper in order to vote on it.
All right, Katie?
I want to wait until we see it documented.
Without sliding Mike, Mary, and Richard, I'm going to turn to the Richies and say, I think I know where this is going, and I suggest, and so I'm gonna. Do you have any questions about this? To the Richies?
I just want to make sure we understand what exactly we need to do. For example, both of our neighbors are building new additions right across from us. One is actually going up and doing a whole new roof line. So I would imagine they are just having typical gutter systems added like you would with a new house. Is
Okay,
that what you meant us
let me
to
just
do?
explain something to you, Mrs. Ritchie. Normally, this would be a hard no. this request because you're asking to put impervious surface in it within 30 feet of the within 30 feet of the lake. And we have a 50-foot no structure zone. And the whole point of the no structure zone is we don't like additional impervious surface. And so I think you have to understand what you're, but my sense is that people are willing to consider it because, you're going to reduce the size of the deck. The existing deck was, had some lack of, permeability, and so there are trade-offs here.
No, I
And
totally understand. I just want to make sure we understand exactly what we need to do to bring to you. So what's it?
And so again, from my point of view, what I would suggest that you do is take, and take that diagram you showed us before that Anna showed us.
Yeah,
From,
the site plan.
the aerial view, the
Yeah.
plot plan.
Yeah.
And diagram the exact dimensions of the,
Drywall.
of your screen porch on that. And, if there's gonna be like, it shows like stairs on the side of it.
Yeah.
What are those gonna be like? The dimensions of those and exactly where you would put this drywall.
Okay.
And do that, submit it to Anna so that the commission has it 2 weeks from tonight. And then the commission, I think, would be willing, to move forward with this application.
Okay.
Let me call on Mary Wilson. She may have something to add, because I'm just one member. We have 7 members. It could be other people have different ideas. Mary?
The thing that I would like to add, Mr. Chairman, is that we get the dimensions of the dry well as well from a volume perspective. What would be the volume capacity of the dry well?
Anybody else have anything to add to what we're looking for from the Richies? Because I don't want them to come back 2 weeks from tonight and somebody say, oh, well, how come you didn't do this?
Do we do these drawings and submit them up to the automatic application that we've been working on? Or do we email them directly to the commission? How would you like to receive this?
Let me ask our administrator, Anna, how would you like them to do this?
So you can just email it directly to us, and then we can upload it to the site that has like all the application stuff. You can just send it to our emails, my assistant and I's email.
Okay, so just to you as the administrator of the commission, and then you'll distribute to the commission.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have any
Okay.
other questions, Mr. and Mrs. Ritchie?
No, we do not.
Wait, let's wait before you, let's hear from Mr. Bursch.
Yeah, I wanted to just add to them, basically anything that is gonna happen that was not approved prior, so any digging, where the dry well is gonna be, any runoff, any changes to the existing permit that you have, make sure is documented.
Thank you. I'm sorry, is that it, Rich?
Yep.
All right, back to you, Mrs. Ritchie, Mr. and Mrs. Ritchie.
I think we're good. We'll work with our builder. Ed, I don't know if you have any comments on next steps or any questions.
Anything to add, Ed?
He may still be on mute, but
No, he's-
anyway,
he's
we'll
not
work
muted.
with- yeah, we'll work with Ed on that.
Excellent.
Yeah, he been great to work with, and we really have taken this entire project very seriously and done all the right things. So we're going to continue to do all the right things.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna look for a motion to continue until April 19th.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion, I think by Mike and seconded by Richard.
Yeah.
And so, roll call, Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Katie,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Richard,
Aye.
and I for myself.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. New business, there are no topics unknown. The Timber Rights Fund is still there. Earth Day, Mary, take it away.
Have to come off of mute first.
Okay,
Yeah, so there are quite a few things going on with Earth Day. We got our first ad in the Ledger on the 31st. It looked awesome. We've gotten quite a few responses from that. My collaborator, Anna Lockwood in Parks, has been peppering social media with ads as well. We've gotten quite a few from there. We also have several members of our town government and select board also pushing or advertising, giving us some sound bites for Earth Day. So we've gotten quite a decent response. Numbers right now seem to be somewhere around the neighborhood of, I don't know, 30-ish. That doesn't count, you know, right now we're still counting like Boy Scout troops and groups and stuff as one. We've already had 2 events that happened over the weekend. We had a couple of Girl Scout troops out marking trails out in the Table Rock property. And we had a group of 8 people show up for that. And then the Parks Department sponsored Marshall Park spring cleaning. And it seems like there were 26 people, Anna said, that showed up for that. So all appears well. So it looks like maybe we're going to get a few things done this month, which will be really nice. One thing that I would like to ask the Conservation Commission is the strategy that we had, that Anna and I had advocated for, was doing a series of 3 ads every 2 weeks with the Ledger. And the Ledger was kind enough to sponsor us for the first ad, but due to expenses and whatnot, was not able to cover costs for the second and third ad. So I am asking the commission to provide budget support of $85 for one color ad for Earth Day. That would be a 1/4-page ad. That is my ask.
I'm looking for a motion to approve the expenditure of $85 from our Timber Rights Fund for an ad in the Ledger for Earth Day.
So moved.
Motion by Jeff.
Second.
We have a couple of seconds. I think both Rich and Katie. Roll call. Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Katie,
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Thank you, Mike. Mary,
Aye.
Richard,
Aye.
aye for myself.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all your work in organization and energy.
My pleasure. My last plug is this Saturday, if the weather holds, we're going to be down at the Lane property, removing invasive plants, both in the morning and in the afternoon. So if anybody is so inclined, bored, or just looking for an excuse to get out, come down and meet with us. We'd love to have you.
That's Saturday morning,
Yes, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock Saturday. All right. Thank you. I just want to call everyone's attention, kind of redundantly, to that we are able to meet remotely for another 2 years, which I think is a good thing. But I was wondering if there were any commissioners who question the decision of the chair that we will meet by Zoom. You know, I mean, is there anybody who thinks we should be having in-person meeting or hybrid meetings? And I'm going to call on Mary. She has her hand up.
I was clapping. I think that's the
Oh,
Zoom
okay,
reaction for clapping.
okay.
I think I think it's great. I'm a big advocate of Zoom. I live in a Zoom world and love it. But for the purposes and the mission of the Conservation Commission, I see that the huge strength is that it's so seamless to share drawings and be able to zoom into particular areas on drawings or photos or whatnot. So I think it works extremely well for our mission. That's just my opinion.
Wonderful, and I think it helps us to support those members who go to Florida or travel to Baja, Mexico, or go wherever and still are able to participate. Richard Birsch.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment that I don't think over the last 3 years that we've been holding Zoom meetings that we've had any complaints at all. I think that you've done a great job at facilitating them, Bob, and I think at this point we've all gotten pretty used to the Zoom platform, so I have no problems with continuing Zoom meetings into the future.
Well, thank you. And but I just wanted to throw it out there. You know, sometimes, you know, you think you're leading people in the right direction, and you turn around and you find out there's nobody behind you. You know, so I thought it was time to do a check.
We're still here.
All right. Expiring commission terms, though, we have two people who are up for reappointment, Rich and Katie. I hope you'll both be back. I would love it if you would both come back. But if you're not, I understand. But I do hope you're both coming back. Right at the moment, there are three talent bank forms. There is a very old talent bank form from Ben Howard, who I'm not sure he even lives in town anymore. And he is on the board of directors of the North County Land Trust. There's a talent bank form from Sam Welsh. And I had him on the list of associate members, but he hasn't attended a meeting in months. And in speaking with him, it seems like he's more his interest would be better suited for the Open Space Committee. And then just yesterday or the day before yesterday, we received a talent bank form from Chris St. Germain. He is a member of the Lunenburg Snow Riders and a mountain biker, and he's done a lot of trail work on the trails in this town. So are there any comments or Katie Childs?
So I will not be renewing this year. Work has just gotten so crazy that I just can't dedicate the time I'd like to. No site walks on Saturdays, stuff like that. So I let Elaine know today just to let you guys know.
Thank you, Katie. I knew that, but I didn't want to be the one to say so. But Katie, thank you so much for your years of service. How long have you been on? So was it 6?
I think I've only 4.5 years. I moved to Lunenburg in 2017, so I came in like a partial term.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And,
you're stuck with me for a few more months though.
Excellent. But you know, we do have you know, I think Chris St. Germain will make a great member. And I did put I went and I posted an invitation for people to apply to be associate members on the Friends of
You definitely did it on the Trail Stewards Lunenburg
Robs Hill. I
page.
did it on Robs Hill, the Friends of Robs Hill. I did it on, and I asked Tom Bertram, I don't have access to it. There's a Trail Steward thing on Facebook.
Slight correction, Mr. Chairman, you asked me, and I posted it for you.
Oh, did you? Did I? Oh, really?
Indeed.
Oh, I thought I sent that email to Tom Bertram.
Well, you sent it to the administrator of the page.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. See? All right, well, thank you. Old business, I'm sure, assume there's nothing new on the grant application, and there won't be until June. Updates on encroachments. We just spoke with the 950 Chase Road people. Anybody have any comment on that? That's kind of a unique thing. They say was built by the previous owners. It's not ours. We don't want it. Sounds like it might be fairly expensive to take it down.
Mr.
Anybody have
Chairman,
any further comment on that?
Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering if it's on conservation property and it's in halfway decent shape, could it be used by conservation for anything?
Well, but the trouble is, it's almost impossible where it is. It's almost impossible to get to it without going over an abutter's property. We have no direct access to it.
Yeah,
and
there's
so-
a big between the main trail and the abutters property.
In fact, I don't even know how I would get over here to look at it. In fact, there's another place where I think there might be encroachment, but I can't tell from the aerial photograph. It looks like they might have filled, or it could just be a natural thing. And I can't get over there. If I was gonna go over there to look at it, I was gonna take and while I was there, once I was on conservation property, walk over and look at this other place. But I think step one is to go over, look at it, take some pictures and, do an assessment about what it would take and, kind of thing. And then, Anna, you want to tell about, Pleasant Street?
Yeah, so I got an email from Proctor, which is the property owners at 110 Pleasant Street. So the email said that they had removed, so the encroachment was shipping containers onto conservation land. And so the email stated that they had removed them. And then after removal, they were kind of going to stabilize the area, kind of clean it up a little bit. And I myself went out just to investigate and confirm that these large containers were removed. So I went to the Laurel Bank property and took the snowmobile trail down, which runs right along that property. And I can confirm that they did remove the shipping containers as well.
Super. Thank you very much, Anna. So of the 5, we started out with 5 encroachments. We've heard back from everyone now. And the only one who's really not saying they're going to do anything about it is 950 Chase Road, and I'm going to have to see what the town attorney has to say about that. Mary Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thought I had seen in one of the emails that you had sent out to our team of commissioners that there was a property that's actually in Townsend on West Townsend Road, is it? That has the photo showed a driveway that actually, the driveway of the property is actually on conservation land, the land that's part of the Northwest Forest. But I didn't see that address on our list of
And
encroachments.
that's because that'll be on our next wave.
Okay, thank you.
That'll be in our next wave. That has not gone away. That'll be on our next wave, along with 2 properties that were just identified down in the Harris Conservation Land.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
So,
Chairman.
they haven't gone away. We'll get there, but town attorney has asked we send them to him like in groups of 5.
Makes a lot of sense.
Anything else on encroachments? Hollis Road residents, anything new, Mike?
Yes, Mr. Chair, in an effort to try to get more information on perhaps utilizing resources, as I think Mary Wilson at one of our meetings suggested that we get in touch with Monty Tech to see if they would be interested in doing something with the cabinets at the Hollis Road property. And I spoke with the vocational director, Ryan Rigi, and he was very nice, and but informed me that because they don't usually work on properties that have tenants in them.
Yeah,
Plus, he said he wouldn't be able to do work there because of there might be the presence of lead paint, and that would prohibit the vocational school for doing work there. However, they are at the Ritter Library doing a project there
Yep.
at this time, I believe.
Yep.
But he left it open. If there were any other projects, he would be glad to look at them in the future. So we will continue to pursue that. I was asking to see maybe they do some painting of the cabinets, and they said they don't have a painting crew to do that kind of work. So
all right.
we're trying. So
So
that's it there, but we will continue.
So, good news. It turns out that the new facilities director, Chris Ruth, his office is almost directly underneath, Anna Petrie's office. It's down where Jennifer Benson used to have her office, on the floor, beneath in, the front half of the building, all the way at the end of the hallway. And I went down and spoke with him the other day.
Is this-
Because I go mountain biking with his
Okay.
brother all the time. And he said, oh, that the Hollis Road property is on the list of properties that he's supposed to take care of. And if we had anything that needed done there, just come to him and he'll manage the whole project, soup to nuts. So,
Now he's at the Ritter Library
yes,
property.
he's at the Ritter Building, formerly known as the Ritter Library,
will.
before I moved to town.
Okay. I would be glad to meet with him and give him a long list.
Heck, please do. Because, it's like, I mean, because, the usual thing is like, the problem is money and funding. And at the moment, we don't have any funding problems. There's over 60 grand in the Hollis Road account right now. So,
Yes.
not very nice guy. Lives right around the corner from you.
Okay.
On Northfield Road. So, any administrative determinant, anything else, Mike?
No, that's it.
All right. I
Thank
don't
you.
think we have any administrative determinations or extension requests. A certificate of compliance. Anna, tell us about the certificate of compliance.
So this property is a little older, not too much older. It was approved with an order of conditions of a building of a house. And it was approved of in 2013. And I'm pretty sure it had an extension on it as well. And then ended up finishing and then getting inspected for an as-built in 2018. And so this property did not get a certificate of compliance. And this is another situation where this home is for sale, kind of open-ended. And the realtors applied for this so it can be closed out, so they can sell this property. I went to the property. I also took pictures and I shared it to the drive as well. This site is very much stabilized. Again, it does have an as-built plan. The landscaping is done nicely and to the plan. But yeah, everything looks good and finished on that property.
Thank you so much, Anna. I'm looking for a motion to approve this certificate of completion. Or certificate
Just
of compliance.
Just a quick
Wait,
question.
wait, wait.
Anna.
Go ahead, Rich.
Anna, you compared the as-built to the original permitted design of the house?
Yes, so I went on our files and I found the original submission and then asked the Board of Health across the way for their as-built and compared both plans.
Okay, so it was built as we permitted it and they
Yes.
submitted. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
And I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Rich. Do we have a second?
Second,
Second,
All right, multiple seconds. Roll call, Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Katie,
aye.
Mike,
aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Richard,
Aye.
and I for myself. Enforcement, I don't think there's anything new on either one of these enforcement actions, but I will let Anna tell us that for sure.
Yes, so I haven't heard anything from 23 Cove Road. I know they were waiting till spring, but it is spring. So I will send a follow-up email with them. And then for the 205 Sunset, I know they were still trying to work with Dillis and Roy, but I haven't heard anything. So I'm gonna follow up with them and try and get a definite timeline of when they're gonna be submitting those final plans to us.
Thank you. Open space, we're waiting for June to see if the DPW will come up with the money to hire someone to do the Howard Street driveway. There's nothing new on timber sales. Conservation land improvements, I wanted to talk about my ideas about improving the Table Rock. I've been out in Table Rock for the last 3 weeks, putting up the "You Are Here" trail signs. In doing that, I realized that, I mean, this is our newest property. It's sort of like, in my mind, it's sort of like when we took over the Lane property. A lot of the trails went nowhere. They went over a butter's land, and over the last 4 or 5 years, you know, we've closed the loops and stuff like this. So I wanted to talk about this, and I think I'm sharing my screen right now.
Yes, you are, Mr. Chairman.
And so, you know, we're planning to put a parking lot right here. And I'd like to take and develop a trail that goes up through here. It's not going to be easy. I've walked it from here up to about there, putting orange markers. Right about here, there's like a stream crossing. Right about here, there is a thicket. Reminds me of, like, in Sleeping Beauty, the castle was surrounded by this all these prickle bushes and everything, and you couldn't possibly get through it, you know, unless you were the knight in shining armor, you know, and spent a long time it's unbelievable. It's going to take a lot of work to get through it, but I think it's important to take and develop a trail that goes up through here, so you can get directly to Table Rock and not on that. But there's a couple places where we'll have to put a boardwalk for about 15 feet or so, you know, to get across some wet spots. And I also walked through here, and there's this wetland here. This map isn't accurate. This is a stream that flows out of here and flows up this way. And but I think it would be nice to be able to do a loop trail, you know, so that people who live down here on New Old Farms Road, you know, can just walk across the street and go to the trail. I'd like to close off this trail over here because it goes nowhere except to the property line, and you have to turn around. Up a little farther up, this stub doesn't go anywhere. I want to go out and see, can this stub be connected to this stub? I don't know if it can. I don't know if it's wet in there or not. So I want to check that out. I want to take and connect this trail now terminates at this property line, and connect it over here. This is the AT&T right of way. This straight trail that goes all the way across here is the AT&T right of way. It's got AT&T signs all through it. So I'd like to connect it over to the AT&T right of way. And in this area here, there's almost like a stream that flows right down the AT&T right of way. In a lot of places, it's a morass. And so I like to take and see, you know, are the places we could do like alternate work around there. There's a couple of trails that exist that are not on the map. There's one here. This little red piece over here is not there. There's a trail that comes off of like this that I don't know where it goes. That's not on the map. And there's a trail that goes off this way somewhere or other that's not on the map. And if we come over to, well, that's right, I gotta take and do it this way. And if we come over here, these two lots are owned by the fellow who lives in this house here. And so this trail that comes off of New West Townsend Road, if you go in just a little ways, now it's on top of his lot. So I want to make a bypass trail that goes around his lot here. And I want to make a bypass trail here so that we can take in, because like this trail terminates at the property line. We have this is a cart path. This is a cart path, and which I believe is used by the snow riders. It goes all the way from Howard Street all the way down to here. But this section of the cart path is on Conservation Commission land, so I'd like to take and make two connecting trails there, take and make it so, you know, you got a loop trail there. And so those are my thoughts. And I throw it open to discussion or objection or whatever right now.
Mr. Chairman, maybe I'll go first while everybody else warms up. That kind of darker blue line that's in the northwest corner may have historically been used by snow riders, but they're not currently maintaining that trail.
Okay, yeah, this land right now is for sale by the King. This parcel here and this parcel here is all owned by the same person. It's an LLC where the person lives over in Boston or something. No, I'm sorry. The people who own it, I think, live in Ohio. And it's currently got a big for sale sign on it by the King team.
Correct.
So
I think it's being positioned as like a 5 or a 7 house kind of development opportunity.
And in actual fact, yesterday I went mountain biking with the guy who lives in this house and owns these two lots. And he doesn't object to people going over his property, but I just assume take and make it so that people aren't going over his property, because someday they'll develop these lots and I think.
And then it'll be a problem.
And then it'll be a problem. And so I'd prefer to not set up people's expectations, to do it now and so that,
Sure, that makes a lot of sense.
Just done right.
Yeah, and it'll hopefully encourage people to use those other trails, so at least it's in their muscle memory.
Yep. Thank you. Before there's any other comment, I just want to mention all of these trails here, all these trails in gray, they're all on property owned by the owners of Settlers Crossing. When I was making this trail map, I reached out like 3 times to Bill Gustus, who was still alive then, asking for his permission to put the trails on our trail map. I never did hear back from him. The trails are on our trail map without their permission. But those are all of those trails that are grayed out are in gray are all on Settlers Crossing property. I can see where someday the Conservation Commission or the Open Space Commission might approach the owners of Settlers Crossing about possibly gifting or selling these parcels, this back parcel here, to the Conservation Commission. Any other
Oh.
comments or questions or suggestions?
Oh, Mr. Chairman, I like all the updates and the recommendations that you've made there. I think that would be, I think that would be really useful, and would enhance the property.
Thank you, Mary.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, Jeff.
I have a good friend of mine that lives on Sequoia, right at the cul-de-sac there, if you scroll
Yep.
up a little bit.
Yep.
Um,
Sequoia is on
Yep.
Howard. Yeah, right there.
Yep. So he lives right on that kind of southwest corner, that lot that extends down to the conservation
this one.
property.
Yep.
And he has a nice Kubota with a lot of attachments.
Haha.
Haha. So I
Good to
might,
know. Thank you.
yep, so if you need some work back there, I'm sure he would help out.
All right, thank you. If there are no other comments, I'm going to move on to committee reports. Are there any committee reports?
Oh, actually, Mr. Chairman, maybe, I'm sorry, I'm slow.
Go
But,
ahead.
I have spent not nearly as much time out in Table Rock as you have, because everywhere I go, I see those nice, you are here signs that are absolutely wonderful. But there is evidence of a lot of ATV and side-by-side traffic out in Table Rock. Maybe for a future meeting, maybe we could talk about if there's any way within our means to reduce or discourage that kind of ATV or side-by-side traffic, because there are a lot of areas out there where they really are causing some damage to the trails.
Yes, there are. There's no doubt about it. And I didn't even talk about areas of the trails of some of the other trails that are existing, where we have like serious water over the cart path issues that are exacerbated by, four-wheelers and UTVs coming through them. Where at some point, I'd like to try to address those, but Rome wasn't built in a day.
No, it wasn't. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I wanted to add.
Thank you. Any communications? Any public comment? Any comments from members of the commission?
I just have one,
Mr.
Bob.
Chair,
Oh.
Go ahead.
Miss,
Let's
are you
start with
asking
Jeff.
me or asking Jeff?
Let's start with Jeff. Jeff was gonna say something.
Yeah, I was just thinking Flynn Road, is there any chance we could do a site walk out there just before they, I guess, proceed with that application?
I think we have done a site walk, but we can do another.
Okay, just to check it out, see how things are going, and
Yeah.
I guess if things need to be addressed with the work that was done, we could address it at the next meeting.
All right. Thank you, Jeff.
Sure.
Yeah, Anna, did we already do a site walk? Did Mary do a site walk there, Anna, or have we not?
Yeah,
I
we
did.
did the site walk last Saturday.
That's what I thought.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I missed that site walk. Sorry.
All right, Mike.
Yes, I just wanted to get an update on something that was brought up back 1st of March on 4 Gabe's Place. There was a report that they may have been filling the wetlands with stone, and of course it snowed as soon as I brought that report into the commission. So not that there's no snow, with Anna already done that. So that was one point that I wanted to bring up. And lastly, I just wanted to connect with Mary. I spoke with John Jones this week informally, letting me know about that grassland bird breeding that we were going to on the Hunting Hills property on Mulpus Road. And he sort of threw out Wednesday as a possible day for that to happen. So I just wanted to extend to Mary, because I know she was interested. Does Wednesday work for you to meet up with John Jones and myself to check out that grassland bird breeding project that we were looking to do together?
You know, I wish I could, but Wednesday is a pretty booked day for me. So you guys go ahead. I'll keep my fingers crossed that you see
Okay.
something really interesting.
Okay, it seems to be the only day next week, because he's celebrating a 50th wedding anniversary. And he
Ooh.
tells me he needs to be there with his partner. And I said, yeah, I think it's a good idea after 50
Especially-
years together.
Especially if he wants to go to 51.
Correct, I agree.
So Anna, can you give us?
But we can,
I'm sorry, Mike. I thought you were done.
no, that's fine.
Anna, can you give us a update on Gabe's Place? Have you had a chance to go out there yet or not yet?
Not yet, mostly because when I got the email about it, there was really no context. So I was gonna ask at some point what that was in reference to. And now that the snow is gone, I'm gonna make time to go out there and check it out.
Thank you, Anna. Mary Wilson.
In October or no, it must have been October. We went out for some similar type of thing at Fort Gabe's Place. Because I remember walking out and it must have been early October. It had just started getting a little bit cool, but not, I mean, it's still, the foliage was still out, but I do remember it was with Nadia. This
Yeah,
is a new one then?
I think what we have going on there is, I think it's possible that neighbors are using the commission as a weapon against each other, but you know, who knows?
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's easy enough to go back out there again.
Yep. Any other comments from commissioners? Our next meeting is April 19th at 7 o'clock. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
All right, roll call. Rich,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Katie,
aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Richard,
Aye.
and I for myself. I'm gonna stop the recording.